Greetings, greetings. All right, fam. Y'all come on in the room. Y'all know what time it is. It's the truth session, baby. This is where you come, listen here, and your thoughts, they really matter and they really count. This is a place where your thoughts are respected and you can ask questions and get answers. It's a double impact again today, along with my cohort, my constituent, my sidekick. We're going to bring him to the stage, none other than my sidekick, the master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shapeshifter, the code breaker, baby. Oh, we in the house today. Master teacher, go ahead, introduce yourself to some and present yourself to others while I do a little sharing here. Go ahead and
Yes,
do your
yes,
thing.
yes. What's going on? Greetings, greetings, greetings. The one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. It's good to be in the house with you.
Yes, sir.
Listen,
Yes,
everyone,
sir.
of course, I am your very own, the master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shapeshifter, the code breaker. That's right, tag teaming in tandem once again with the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. And it's good to be in your hearing and also visually coming into your sights.
Yes, sir. We're going to be back at it again today. Kings and queens, gods and goddesses, brothers and sisters. We're going to be back with part 2 of what happens when God manifests, because we had so much conversation, chatter, and we were getting it on real strong, but we had to get up out of here because of time constraints. And as we've shared with you guys, we're trying to cut down on the time so that we can get you guys in here and get you out. And we know that it's Saturday. And Saturdays are typically times that we're trying to get some things done, right? We're trying to play catch up. So we don't want to take too much of your time, but we want to provide a space and place and time for those that are walking across the waters of their minds and they are trying to get levels of information that they need. Okay. All right, fam. So with that, uh, let me let Master Teacher talk to y'all just a few minutes here, and I'm going to do a little sharing. All right.
Listen, family, what I've come to understand is that we are more powerful and gifted than we can ever imagine. And what happens when we manifest as gods? Supernatural things take place. You know, our thinking, a level of discernment, it goes to an all-time high. The ability to make decisions go to an all-time high. And I found that when you really begin to converse with people about being gods, they tend to back away from you because that's spookism. That's it's too much that's operating in some supernatural realm where what we're talking about really doesn't exist. But we're here to tell you today that it does exist. And listen, we've had the ability to operate like that for a very long time. We've been tricked out of that inheritance. We've been tricked out of those giftings and innate abilities. And so there's no way we can do the things that we do without being gods. It's impossible. So not just anyone can just walk up and begin to operate in the space and place where we at. And this is, for educational purposes only, not to shun anyone else, not to disrespect anyone. But we're simply saying is that we've had these abilities all our lives. We've been tricked out of them. And listen, you know that when information is far removed from you, you're not going to operate in that gifting. You're not going to operate in that space or in that knowing. You'll act other than who you are. In other words, you'll be running programs. It's programs is what will be running constantly. Those things will be in your subconscious and we'll constantly be rehearsing them, giving audience to them, giving energy to it. And listen, those things that never had anything to do with us. So what we've had for such a long time is natural innate abilities to be gods. And that encompasses everything. And we're going to get into some things today to really rehearse in your hearing who we are and what happens when God show up.
Yes, indeed. And it's interesting to note, Master Teacher, in terms of what you just conveyed, how that when you begin to express to people who they really are, how they will move away from
Yes.
you. They're, "Hey, you're blaspheming." You know what I
Yes.
mean? There's but one God, and God is this, that, and the other thing. And then what they'll cite to you is that God said that, "I shall have no other gods before me." But if you make that particular statement, what that actually means is that there has to be then some other gods,
Right.
right? And there
Yes.
has to be some other gods, and typically that means that you cannot acknowledge anything outside of me. Gratitude, we have ATL in the house. We have Queen Octavia, the ATL, with the priestess, ATL, JJ, ATL. We got the sergeant at arms, Kiana. That's 501. I think that's Arkansas, Little Rock,
Yeah.
Arkansas. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes. Queen Octavia said truth is a divider.
Truth is a
Yes,
divider. Yes.
absolutely, it can be. Oh, it's going to divide the knowers from the non-knowers. Yes,
That's right.
indeed. And then it'll divide the willing from the unwilling.
Yes.
Yes, because truth have the ability to do those things. The truth will open up things so that you can see how they really appear. If
Yes.
you really want to know what truth is not someone's ideology.
That's right.
It's it's not what someone thinks. Truth in a nutshell is how things really appear.
Yes.
Example for you. We know what an orange is because why we've experienced that. We've experienced what an orange is. And we know
Right.
what an apple is because we've experienced what an apple is, right?
Right.
And so that we all agree as a community that an orange is an orange and an apple is an apple, correct?
Absolutely.
So that means then that clearly I know that this is an orange and this is an apple. So with clarity, I can see that. So therefore, I can demonstrate with it as it appears.
Right.
So as it appears to be that orange, then I know exactly that it is a what? An orange. And I
Orange.
know that that is an apple. That is not someone's ideology. KD
Right.
Royal in the house. Yeah, that is not someone's ideology. Go ahead, Master Teacher.
What's powerful is that when you talk about this, people talk about their ideologies. They tout their ideologies, but then when you begin to question them, they have no information, no facts, no truth behind it. It's just what it is.
Yes,
It's what was said. It's what my mother said, my grandmother said. Okay, where are your facts? Where's your receipts? And you
correct,
notice that there's never any information to back up what's being said. But
correct,
we have proof to back up what we're saying. So,
correct.
okay, well, back up what you're talking about. And
Yes, sir.
oftentimes, people won't come up with any facts at all. They can't reference anything, uh, no books, no uh, references, no peer-reviewed journals, any of those sources
Correct.
to back up
Yes,
their claim.
yes. That says my mama said or my grandmama said.
That's right.
They
My mama said, my grandmama said, if it was good enough for them, it's good enough for me.
yes. And so they can't give you any tangible, factual information. One of the things that we've already understood about truth is, and I put that, if you all can see that uh, in the window on the ticket bar, in the truth session, we break codes with the Bible and isn't trying to proselytize anyone. People sometimes get the impression that, hey, they're having, no, we're not. We're revealing what our ancestors left us so that we won't get entangled in religion.
Right.
Because why? Religion causes you to try to have someone else's what experience and not
Mm,
your own.
that's right.
But what they was teaching us was how to go back and gather the spirit, because the spirit teaches you how to have your own experience, and then be conscious that you are the
Absolutely.
one that's having it. Go ahead,
Right.
Master.
Yes. I like that you're conscious of it. You realize that you're having your own experience and no one else is giving you an experience. No one is explaining an experience to you or what they've encountered. But people will attempt to make their experience yours to gather numbers. And they figure strength is in numbers. So here's my experience. Don't you agree? Well, that's not
Yeah.
my experience. We've all had those secondhand experiences from leaders who talked about experiences that they had.
Yes.
And then when you break it down, we found out that they really didn't have those experiences.
Correct. Yes, they've never had them. They've
They've never
borrowed
had it.
them from someone else,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Or they borrowed them from the scriptures, right? Or the sacred
That's right.
text, we call it. So one of the things, and this is why I always tell people that you have to be a student of what you're trying to teach, right?
Absolutely.
So you have to have your own experience because that's what Yahushua, or whom they refer to as Jesus, told them. He said, "You must take up your cross and do what? Follow
Come
me."
on. Follow me.
He said, "You have to take up your own." What does that
Yes.
mean? You have to have your own what?
Experience.
Experience.
Yes.
See, because the teachers have no real knowledge. The Prince of Peace in the house.
That's
The
right.
preachers have no real knowledge of what's going on. They really can't. And this is no knock. We're laughing to take away the seriousness of the ignorance,
Right.
and in
Right.
some cases, stupidity, and in other cases, misinformation and disinformation.
Correct.
So don't think that we are half-hearted, right? And we're just sitting here like that's not it, or lighthearted. No,
Right.
that's not it. But what we're saying is, and we're trying to get you all into the conversation to see where y'all want to go with this. But we know for facts, and when we start dealing with you all, we're dealing with you all with the facts of what is presented to us, right? And then we
Right.
break that down for you all. So please, please, please involve yourself, ask questions, get involved. Okay. Uh,
And
go ahead,
one of the
Master.
things you said, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Yes. One of the things you were dealing with just a little bit ago was they say you should have no gods, no other gods before me. And I
Yes.
like that. Well, you have to look at before. What are we saying? You have no other gods before me, in my presence, before me, or no other gods ahead of me, before me.
Yes. Correct.
So we're not looking at superseding the Almighty ones.
Yes, sir.
But if he's saying no other gods before me, then there must be some behind him or some
Correct.
standing with him.
Yes.
So you have to see it in a twofold setting. I mean, just like it says here, the sacred text tells us that grace and peace be multiplied unto us, and He has
Yes.
given us what all things that pertains to life and godliness. Well,
Yes, sir.
if you're receiving godliness, you must be a God.
Yeah, if you're receiving godliness, it can't.
So
It can't.
why would you
Yes,
need it?
correct. It can't be anything else but that. But let's go back to. Let me pull this up for the family where we were uh, Saturday before last, and we were dealing with this particular information right here.
Yes.
If you remember that we were dealing with this information and you were in the room, go ahead and put a 1 on the timeline so that we're all on the same page. Is that okay? All right. Where we at in this here, Master Teacher?
We left off on 7 talking about you shall die like men and fall like
Yes.
one of the princes.
Yes. Greetings, Pastor
Not if-
Singletary.
Yes,
Go
we
ahead,
see
Master.
Pastor Singletary in the house.
Yes, in the
Greetings,
house.
Pastor Singletary. It's good to see you.
Yes, indeed. Pastor Singletary, you should remember Apostle Harris because he was with me every time we came to North Carolina. Every time we came to see the chief apostle, Moshe Townsend. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm. Yes, indeed. Pop them ones out there then. I see y'all. Make yourselves visible. Yes, indeed. All right, Master Teacher, go ahead. Go and chop on that. Chop on that.
Yeah, so the one thinking about this, we shall die like men
Hmm.
and fall like one of the princes. You have to think about that, and not a just physical death. You have to see it from the standpoint where if you're not operating in your supernatural abilities based on what we're experiencing, especially now, you will die like men. In other words, mere mortals.
Correct. Yes.
Those who are commonplace, those who don't operate in the supernatural realm,
Correct.
those who are without knowledge.
Yes. Those that
Those,
have,
come on.
yeah, yeah, those that have become so mortal,
Yes,
they've lost their immortality,
yes,
which is the reason why someone has to come and give eternal life back to you because you lost the under, inner, over, surround standing that you are a God having a human experience.
yes,
See, and we can't explain that except we go to a Safar, to Helium La Yahweh. What's that?
yes,
Psalms 82, 6 through 7. Right? Because it says,
yes,
I have said ye are what? Gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. So if you're children of the Most High, then that means that you are what He is,
yes,
right? You can't be
yes,
anything but what He is, but you have lost the concept and the knowing because why? You've been dumbed down.
right,
Why?
right.
Because you have had what? Those that love to slumber and sleep,
And sleep.
lying down, called
Yes,
dumb pastors. This is what the
yes,
prophets called them. I'm not
right.
calling them that, right? So the pastors, the prophet said that. Is that right, Master Teacher?
That's correct.
Call them dumb dogs that
That won't
love to
bark.
slumber and sleep and won't bark,
Yes,
right? So this is what you're confronted with. This is what the people are confronted with. They're looking for answers to the dilemmas that are going on. They're looking for answers for, okay, well, why is this happening? And when I pray, God, quote unquote, is not answering, right?
right.
You know, because you don't understand who you are. You are the purpose. You are the tool.
Yes,
If you don't do it, it's not going to get done.
it's not going to get done.
Go ahead, Master Teacher.
The Sergeant at Arms said, we were taught to forget who we really are. Absolutely.
Yes,
You have to see the fallacy, the fodder in that.
yes,
Why would someone teach us to be someone else and not to be who we are?
yes,
That simply means that we must be somebody important,
yes,
somebody great. And I'm not placing us in this position where no one else is important. I'm saying we were chosen to be important. So if people are attacking who we are and are trying to get us to be somebody else, then we must be somebody important. You have to look at the upside of it. You have to hear what's not being said.
correct.
And so, just going back to what you talked about, if we are created in his image and in his likeness, wouldn't we be who he is? When we
Correct.
sound like, when we act like him? It takes me back to when we were back in Louisiana / Mississippi. And
Mhm.
again, I told this story before. And as you would say, this is my story to tell.
Yes, sir.
Your mechanic didn't know me,
Correct.
but when he heard me speak, he knew I was your son. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
he's got to be with. He sounds just like him.
Yes, sir.
It was the first few seconds he spoke to me, I spoke to him, we started talking, and immediately he knew. Well, isn't
Yes,
it
sir.
me manifesting who you are?
Yes. Yes.
If he said he wouldn't give his glory to another, that means he must have given it to me.
Correct. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And uh yes, yes, master teacher, you're absolutely categorically correct. Uh, we have the ability to manifest each other's spirit because we're in the spirit.
Yes.
We have the ability to carry each other's residual. The residual energy of each of us, we're able to capture that and carry that with us. And when we need to manifest, we can manifest
Yes.
it.
Yes.
See, okay, so now we're getting into some information I know a lot of people don't know anything about, but we need to get this out here. But we carry each other. We can I want to put this. We can the master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shape shifter. We can shape shift through quantum leaping. In other words, we can share our energy with each other. I
Absolutely.
can leap into your energy, you can leap into my energy, and I can manifest you.
Yes.
Isn't that how the elders used to do it back in the day? I know who that child is.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
Joseph and them child,
Yes,
right?
indeed. That's right.
That's Joseph and them child. Well,
Right.
how could they tell? Because of the what? The spirit,
The spirit.
right? The energy of the child, they were able to tell that. But see, we don't want to get into that because you know what the church is going to tell you? Oh, no, we can't do that. No, 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 you can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Right?
indeed.
It's witchcraft. You can't do
Right.
that.
Right.
Which is why we don't have no authority and no power to be able to do anything. We can't
That's
shift
right.
anything. We
That's
can't
right.
transform anything. We can't shape and shift anything
Yes.
anymore. See, because the
Yes.
church will tell you if you're a shapeshifter, you the devil.
You the devil. That's right.
Shapeshifting has nothing to do with the devil because good energy and bad energy uses the same techniques. So you're going to throw away a technique because negative energy has the access to it? You got to be out of your mind,
Right.
right?
Right.
So regardless,
Absolutely.
now here's what we do have to be careful with. And I'm gonna say this, and I know I'm gonna get some pushback though. But what we have to be careful with is how we label things. For example, there's
Right.
a movement out here where people are calling themselves witches. Now, you can do that, but I would ill advise you to do that
That's right.
because that particular stigma will get your head cut off for educational purposes, only entertainment purposes.
Yes, sir.
It'll get you beheaded.
Yes,
In some
indeed.
cases, yeah, it'll get you put to sleep. So
Yes,
why
sir.
would you so why would you wanna use a term like that to describe the abilities and the gifts that you have,
Right.
right? So if I'm gifted and I have the ability to do certain things, then what I want to do is make sure I can present it in a pristine way where you
Absolutely.
can't find any cracks in it,
That's right. That's right.
right?
That's right.
Because they're going to come at you either way. It doesn't matter. But if you
That's
don't
right.
give them a stick to hit you with, then they can't get at you,
That's right.
right? So I think we have to be also smart in that sense. And then what we're doing is we are upgrading our articulation because now we're getting back to quantum theories, quantum principles, quantum energy because we can quantum leap. When we're
Yeah.
quantum leaping, we're shaping and shifting
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that becomes
Absolutely.
legitimate. It becomes a legitimate term, not an
Yeah.
illegitimate term. not a
That's right.
negative term, but a positive term, because for you to get done what you need to get done, you have to be able to shape and shift and move something. We call
Absolutely.
that purpose.
Yes.
We call that purpose. So when you have a purpose, then and only then can you be positioned. All of
That's
this is
correct.
about positioning. So
Right.
if you're properly positioned, then what actually happens is that what? You are shifted into the proper position so things can be shaped the way that they're designed to. Why? Because you quantum leap there. Your
Yes.
energy is there. Your presence
Yes.
is there. Your
Yes.
articulation is there. Your actions are there.
Yes.
This is where we're supposed to be getting to, but we've been dumbed down through
That's right.
religion and other types of religion, right? We're
That's
not
right.
just talking about churchianity. We're talking about Islam. We're talking about it all. Where it
That's
dumbs
right.
you down, right? Doesn't give you the information that you really need to get to where you're trying to get to,
Right.
right?
Right.
All right. Go ahead, Master Teacher.
Listen, if we don't have that ability, and it's touted that that's incorrect. If we don't have that ability, then what it would do is eradicate um, electrons. And we talked about this before, dealing with the quantum principles and how things uh, really is undetectable when you talk about how their location, their speed. You won't be able to do that because of how things move, how they leap, uh, how they jump. So look at it from this standpoint. That would defy what valence electrons are, outer shell electrons. For example, they have the ability to leap from energy shell to energy shell. We're talking about chemistry here. They have the ability to leap from energy shell to energy shell, height to height, field of electrons. That's right, Pastor Singletary. So because of that, they have the ability to attach themselves to something else and become ions. That's the same thing we're doing. We're attaching ourselves. We're using part of us, as the one was saying earlier. I can take on his spirit. He can take on my spirit because we have the ability to leap, to quantum leap. Valence or valence. Think about valence over the windows. They're outer shells. They're covering the curtains. They're covering the drapes.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Mm-hmm.
covering the shades. They're outer
Yes,
shell.
sir.
They have the ability to cover.
Yes.
So if we don't have these properties operating, then it defies how things are made up chemically. It destroys
Yes.
chemistry because there are outer shell electrons trying to leap or can leap. The outer shell electrons can leap to other chemicals and attach itself. And watch this. When it leaps, it becomes an ion, but it actually takes on what it is to make a totally different element. That's
Yes, sir.
exactly what we're doing. I'm taking on your spirit, and so I can reproduce what you've given. I can go somewhere and say some things and do some things, and then you'll show up and like, I've heard this before. I've seen this before. Absolutely is exactly what you're talking about. But to take on this level of energy, this level of knowledge, you got to be responsible with it. And we talk about it all the time. People don't want to be responsible. That's too much information. That's operating at a place that only God can operate in.
Correct. And they're not ready for the articulation.
That's
Just
right.
like you just articulated, and when you're talking about all of the chemical aspects and the atoms, electrons, and ions, and different types of things of that nature, that also um, can you kind of talk about how that works in the chemical element of our brain, Master Teacher, because it deals with chemistry.
That's
And
right.
most people don't really know this and realize that the word chemistry that we have comes from the word Kemet.
Yes.
Kemet is one of the oldest names for what we call Egypt. Egypt is a fairly new name for
Right.
a number of names because it was referred to as Mitzrayim to Mary.
Yes.
So it had various names, and Egypt is the youngest name of it. But Kemet was famous because the Kushi or the Kushites, or people call it Kush, but the Kushites were the ones that was dealing with the chemicals, with
Yes.
alchemy. Now let
Yes.
me clarify before I let you go into this. Dealing with alchemy. Alchemy has nothing to do with magic. And it boils my skin sort of for speaking when people start talking about magic, because magic isn't real, it is an illusion.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because I'm dispelling two things today, and I'm gonna get some pushback, and that's okay. Because I got facts, you don't.
Right.
You got feelings and emotions. But
Correct.
when you're dealing with witchcraft, and when you're dealing with this magic, you're dealing with illusions. And what you're doing is you're opening up a realm and space for negative energy to manifest.
Yes. Yes.
Are you listening to me? You open up a realm for negative energy to manifest. I know we got great phrases out there, black girl magic. Well, what you're saying is that black magic is used to give forth an illusion and spellbound someone so that you can do what? Take control of their thought processes.
Right. Right.
Well, that's not good, right? Because once they're from under the spell, then who knows what may happen to you that's casting the
Right.
spell.
Right.
So none of this is making any sense. So now you got to get to a place where you begin to understand things from the logical, factual perspective, where we get into a masculine realm of energy.
Yes.
That's why there has to be a balance between the masculine and the feminine.
That's correct.
So when we get to those chemicals, those atoms, and those valent electrons, all of those things that are operating, they're operating chemically. Where at, Master Teacher?
And they're operating in our brain because we have electrical side of us and the chemical side of us. So
Yes.
if those things are not, if they're not operating, you have to see that they're operating in us first.
Correct.
So we're seeing how things connect, how they come together, how they gel, how things fuse together. It's happening in us first. So where did all the information come from? From inside of us.
Correct.
And so we're bringing it forth so they'll understand. Listen, I'm talking about a chemical makeup or a valence makeup even within myself, because there are times, listen, we have to come out of ourselves.
Correct.
We have to sit in silence, in quiet times, and reasoning and get those thought processes together. All we're doing is balancing the chemical and the electrical side of us, giving us the ability to jumpstart ourselves.
Correct.
Bring forth the balance. So,
yes, sir.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. That masculine and that feminine.
Masculine and feminine. That's right.
It has to be balanced.
Balanced.
If not, there's going to be a catastrophe.
That's right.
You're going to swing either to the right or to the left too far. You're going to go too far. And when you go too far, you have a tendency to start articulating information that cannot be substantiated.
Substantiated, correct.
You can't foundationalize that. That's not organic.
Right.
We're looking for the organic information because within the organic information is all of the nutrients.
Correct.
We're looking for the ability to energize ourselves.
Yes.
Okay. So energizing ourselves, we always have to go back to the organic element. And when we go back to the organic element, it has all the things that we need in there. It has that phosphate, which is phosphorus. Phosphorus is in the Greek means what? Light.
Light.
So we're phosphorus ones. We have phosphates in us. We're phosphorus.
Yeah. Yes.
Then we have in us, we have what we refer to as what? Nitrogen.
Yes.
We have nitrogen in us,
That's right.
right? Nitrogen is a nutrient that causes things to bloom and blossom and grow and
Yes.
expand.
Yes. Yes.
Then we have potassium. We have potassium in us. Why we have potassium in us? Because potassium helps our muscles be able to expand
Yes.
and contract without cramping.
That's it. That's right.
And it has other essential vitamins in it,
Right.
right? So all of this is happening within who? Within us.
That's right.
And guess where else it's happening? It's happening in vegetation. It's happening in the organic realm.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We're no longer organic. Why? Because we've lost our immortality.
Yes.
We've lost it and we traded for what? Materialism. We're
Materialism.
material now. We want to bling
Yes.
bling.
Right.
You look around, all we doing is blinging and blinging and blinging
Yeah.
and blinging.
Yes. And see,
Right?
all of that, the one takes away from our ability to flow
Yes.
because it's a material realm. It doesn't allow for meditation. You are thinking about the materials that you have. You're thinking about all that you can gather in. But you mentioned one thing that helps with even with the flow. You said the nitrates. That's what
Yeah.
the ability to produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide. What is it for? Blood flow.
Yes.
It helps for those veins and arteries to relax so that they won't be so tight and cramped. So we can
Yes.
get proper blood flow.
Yes.
Give us the correct blood pressure. We
Yes.
have, saying, well, I've got these blood pressure meds and I understand how it's a temporary fix for some who may not understand what really needs to happen. But you can eat those foods that's high in nitric oxide, and it'll help your blood flow. It'll
Yes.
relax those veins and arteries and cause the flow within them to be perfect. I mean, picture perfect
Yes.
because they're relaxed, they're not tight. So you see, when my blood pressure is up, you need to eat foods in nitric oxide, high in nitric oxide.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely, Master Teacher. You own like a telephone.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
indeed. Listen, if you all are receiving anything out of this, listen, we're gonna pause right here for the calls and we're gonna call for donations. We do need you all support because we are content creators and there's things that we need to get done, right? For example, updating technology, uh, purchasing paraphernalia, and we're looking to try to have a meet and greet. And that takes you all support to be able to do that. So we can come to different localities and then we can have the truth session, or we can have Wind Down Wednesday, therapy with a sip grown folk conversation, the people's
Yes.
podcast, the
Yes.
biggest, the largest. Yes, indeed. With your host with the most, the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander. So look, let me put this ticket out here and let it run for you all. If you can donate, and if you can't, we're not talking to you. We're not putting any pressure on you, and we're definitely not begging.
That's
And
correct.
some of you run off when someone asks you to, hey man, donate, right? You run off. What you running to? Because you're gonna run to someone else. You're gonna give it to someone else. You're gonna do something else with it. Why not put it somewhere where you're gonna see that it's prospering
Yes.
and you are being acknowledged? You can come to the truth session. You can come to Wind Down Wednesday, and we're going to acknowledge you all.
Most definitely.
Yes.
And I want to say listen to our people out there. You never know who it may be helping. People calling for us, places that we need to go to get this information out. And even with my tutoring program, Jumpstart Your Cognition, LLC, listen, tutoring, mentoring. There are times when I've tutored people who could not pay, but because I received donations or sponsorship, they were able to get tutored
Yes.
because somebody sponsored them.
Yes.
And
Good.
listen, I've paid my dues, and the one knows this.
Yes.
There were times and opportunities where I didn't charge people. I had a house full of kids who could not pay. Parents couldn't pay. So for 2 years, I tutored a house full of kids and did not pay, and they did not pay me. 2
I'm a
years.
witness. Yes, indeed.
They did not pay me, couldn't afford to pay. Listen, I paid it forward. And as time progressed, I started getting other clients. People started sponsoring them who couldn't pay, others were paying for them. There were times, listen, I sponsored kids. I sponsored them. Listen, for the next 3 months, I got you. For the next 6 months, you just come on in. I need you here. So we need your donations, your financial support so that we can get done what we need to get done. Go to places where we need to go and to invest in others like we need to invest. That's what we're here for, not only to receive, but we give out, everybody. And we want to thank you ahead of time for your donations, all of your gifts. We're not charging you, but I promise we put it to good use.
Yes, indeed. Great point, Master Teacher.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm a counselor, so I do have clients. I take on clients. And the clients can't pay for the therapy that they're getting.
That's right.
They can't do it. So I have to meet them where they're at so that they can get the information that they need for their survivability.
Right.
So, but we make it up on the back end. For example, when you all come in and when you all donate, you really never know, as the master teacher has stated, who you're really helping,
That's correct.
right? There are people that call in for help. People in my
That's right.
inbox saying, well, can you just send just a little bit? Can you do this? And can you do that? We're not begging for our own. We're doing this for us, for you, for me, and for us.
That's right.
Okay? And you'll see the benefits of it. You don't see me out here high sign. You don't see me out here bling bling and all choked up and all that. No,
That's correct. No.
I don't do that. That ain't what I do. I keep it in the center of the road.
Yes. Yes.
And I have a resume. Yo,
yes.
I got one hell of a resume.
Yes, sir.
And so does the master teacher.
Yes.
You all have someone sitting here in front of you all that listen. They're well versed in what it is that they do. And we're
Yes.
here for you. Thank you, Queen Octavia, for your donation.
Yes. Most people don't know that we sponsor college students. We have people we're
Yes.
sowing into, in a higher institution of learning who need our support.
Yes. Scholarships. We listen,
Yes.
scholarships, the purchasing of their books, and not only
Yes.
that, but we bought wardrobes for people,
Yes.
shoes, clothes,
Yes.
listen.
Travel. Pay for
Yes.
travel.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But all of these things, family, this is what we do, and we haven't stopped doing it, even after taking hit after hit after hit after hit,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
We've stayed the course
That's right.
because you can't flex with us.
That's right.
You can't flex with us because we know what the flex is. The flex is peace. We keep
Come
our
on.
peace about ourselves because we
Yes.
know that we know how to breathe.
That's right. That's right.
Call the breath of life. We know how to breathe.
Breath of life.
Yes, indeed. The intuitive one in the house, Craig Leverett. Greetings, King.
Greetings
yeah.
into the world.
Yes, indeed. So, but yeah, let's do you all have any more questions? Because if you all don't have any more questions, we're going to go ahead and take this break and get on out of here because it's Saturday and we don't want to hold you. It's almost 5 o'clock anyway, but we want to try to get you guys out of here well before that. So what we want to try to do is give you all a good, strong power pop for about 30 minutes to get y'all to where y'all need to be, want to be with your questions and everything. Yes. Yes. If you donate, please put it on the timeline so that we can call you out. Thank you, Pastor Singletary, for your donation. Yes, gratitude. We got to get Pastor Singletary up here one of these times, Master Teacher. Get on up in the truth
Absolutely.
session. She a
Yes. Yes.
powerhouse. Her and her
Yes,
husband.
indeed.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we already know the sergeant of arms. We already know what she do. She'll untangle something.
Yes.
Hey, sergeant at arms, when you want to come back? When you gonna come up? You gonna come up and hang out with me and the master teacher on one of these Saturdays, so we can kick the Willy Bobo?
That's right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But it's all good, y'all. And when you all check the information that we're giving, y'all gonna say, "Man, that's wow, that's factual." You know, it's really factual. And before we get out of here, Master Teacher, I want to I want to go back to something. I want to back to something,
Yes.
right? Because I know I'm going to get some pushback because we have this movement, well, where we're waking up, right? Where we're spiritually waking up.
Yes.
And what's happening is, and what we have to be very careful of, is that based upon who's demonstrating with the energy will determine the outcome of how someone thinks and behaves,
Yes.
right? So, based upon how you articulate the information that you have and what you're giving people, and if you haven't taken your scholarship far enough, then what you invariably end up doing is misleading someone
Correct.
into a space and place where they are demonstrating with energy that's not so good,
Right. Yes.
right?
Yes.
That energy right there is not so good. And based upon your behavior, as I observe you and assess how you're behaving, I know it isn't
Right. Correct.
because you have no respect for the principles of the universe,
Right.
right? You have to
Absolutely.
you have to respect the masculine and the feminine on both levels,
That's right.
right? So if I see that you're not doing that, then I have no faith in what it is that you're even trying to convey to me.
That's right.
So we want to be careful in how we're receiving and who we're receiving from, right? Right? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Pastor Singletary said patterns tell the truth. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Look what Kiana says. Yes, I'm ready to sit in the secret garden. Yeah, she know I got the raised bed out there, Master Teacher.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, big facts anytime. But listen, if you all had an amazing time and you learned something today in the session, put a 2 on the timeline. Let us know we all got on the same page. How about that? Go ahead and put them 2s out there, yeah. And we're gonna get y'all up out of here. I see you, priestess. I see you, Queen Octavia. Yes. Thank you for your donation, Queen Octavia. Thank you for your donation, Pastor Singletary. Thank you for your donation, Prince of Peace. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Them twos. They went 2 by 2, didn't they? Yes,
Yes, they
indeed.
did.
Yes, sir. What happened when 2 agree, master teacher?
The Almighty One's gonna be in the midst, right there.
You understand me. Excuse me, you. Mm-hmm. So with that, y'all, you enjoyed yourself. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. So we're gonna let Master Teacher get us up out of here. Listen, we will again post when we're gonna be on that Saturday. I tell you what, if you're interested in really good, solid conversation, man, that puts you in the center of the road, that brings and walks you to a safe place in your mind, you found the right place, the truth session, right? Where the people's thoughts really matter and they really count. Where we don't deride, where we don't ostracize, right? Where we don't criticize. Okay. So bring yourself on in, take your shoes off, and you sit a spell now. You hear? All right, Master Teacher.
Listen, you just heard from the one, the apostle, the prophet, the cosmic commander, and the master teacher, the quantum shifter, the shapeshifter, the code breaker, baby, coming at you live and in living color with 2,400 watts of power in this hour. Listen, as we always say, listen, hold what you got. Muse over it. Cogitate upon it.
Yes.
Ponder over it. But by all means, come on, govern yourselves accordingly.
Yes. One love, eternal light, peace, power, prosperity. In the words of the Prince of Peace, excellent health.
Excellent health.